my precious PENTAX. What's going on, YouTube? This is part 2 of my DFA 100 f2.8 macro WR lens versus the DA35 limited 2.8 macro lens. So I took some random shots at varying apertures, some of the flowers just behind me here, a couple of my dog, and just kind of walking around with the two lenses and comparing the two. They're in a completely different realm from each other. On one hand, we do know and we are well aware of the chromatic aberration, purple fringing that occurs with the DFA 100 macro. However, that is completely and utterly gone by f5.6. So it's not really a horrible deal, seeing as it is a 100mm telephoto lens. However, the 35 macro is a very, very good all-rounder walk-around lens that has ridiculously close focusing capabilities. As you saw in my last video, or if you haven't, check it out up there. You're pretty much onto or in the actual subject. You can get that close. So between the two lenses, as a general all-purpose walk-around, what your eyes would see in regards to your field of view, the 35 macro on APS-C censored camera such as the K3 Mark III is actually a very, very, very powerful combination for like the color rendition, micro contrast, sharpness. It's an absolutely amazing lens. And the other good thing about the 35 macro as well is the simple fact that because it's a wider angle than the 100 DFA macro, is the fact that you get a slightly larger depth of field when you're shooting. So more things will actually be in focus. As you get closer to subjects, or even if you're about the same distance away with the 100 macro, it's still a very razor thin field of view, or sorry, razor thin depth of focus, not field of view. So that does play a big, big role in regards to what kind of photos you'll be able to achieve if you're looking to get a certain element within the focus range, right? So they are two completely different animals, and neither one is better than the other. But as I said in my last video, the reason I picked the 100 macro was specifically for insects and bugs, because I wanted to have that distance away from the subject as to not disturb them so I could actually achieve the shot. But that's solely focusing on strictly macro. The 100 macro is an absolutely amazing portrait lens, surprisingly. To some people it's surprising because it's a macro lens, but it is a very, very, very good portrait lens. And the 35 macro can do portraits, it can do environmental shots, product photography, and is just a very good general all-rounder shooting lens. Just throw it on your camera and walk around. It's great for street, and then you have the capability of being able to get extreme close-ups of certain things. They're both very, very good lenses. However, they do different things, even though they're both macro lenses. So that's pretty much the preliminary thoughts on the whole 35 versus 100. Unfortunately, yes, the 100 does have the horrible purple fringing when you're shooting at f2.8, f3.2, f4. As I said, at f5.6, it's gone. It's no more. So in hindsight, I mean, they should have actually made it a 100 f5.6 macro lens, but just 2.8 sounds better, I guess. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. And I mean, as you saw with the photos that I showed during my random speaking about in this video, you can see the quality. They are both very high quality lenses. They both render extremely fine detail. And, it's more a matter of you figuring out what your shooting style will be in order for you to decide which one of these two beautiful lenses you would end up purchasing. And that's it for this video. If you like the video, leave a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. Always helps out. If you'd like to support the channel, I'll leave that information at the bottom of the description. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and you will see me on my next video. I'm out.